Drinking.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a chaotic start to episode 83 of the Clutch Dump. This episode is automotive, but we're recording it on a Monday like we normally record our motorsport episodes. We're doing a double dip delight tonight. To boot, I am sipping on something special, and you won't be able to see the icon, but I'm sipping on the Alfa Romeo Sauber F1 Edition Whistle Pig Bourbon, which...
It's
Fun
quite fancy,
fact,
actually.
to start this episode, every barrel of this bourbon was shipped to Switzerland, and every barrel has been through the Alfa Romeo Sauber F1 wind tunnel. There's a video of it on YouTube. It's actually kind of crazy. So this whiskey has been in a Formula One wind tunnel. So I'm drinking a lower midfield team whiskey. Anyway, moving on. Make sure if you are new to the show, if you're new to this corner of the internet, make sure to stick around. Stay for a while. Follow us on the podcasting platforms. We're on podcasts, whether it's Google Podcasts, whether it's Apple Podcasts, whether it's Spotify, Stitcher, Pandora. We're also right here on YouTube. If you're watching, this has an implicit meaning. That will be coming later. Hello, and follow us here on YouTube at the Clutch Dump Pod. Make sure to ring the notification bell, like the video. I'm going to move on because I've been talking for too long. Also follow me on Twitter at NicholasPatty21 because there's going to be some spicy photos, not of me. So Ben, cars.
Yes,
we love
cars. Yes, we do like cars.
What car news do you want to start with? Do you want to start with Two Car Garage? Because we can do that.
I think we'll start with Two Car Garage because frankly I'm very excited for it because I think I could give you like 8 guesses and I don't think you'd guess my 2, which I'm quite excited about. But before we get to our 2 specific cars each, we do need to talk about where our Two Car Garage came from, and they actually came from a like 60 car garage. So if you are in the automotive community and you're on the interwebs, you may have seen something called the White Collection is coming up for sale. Now, you may have seen a video of this. I went back and found it because I thought I had seen this before, but Porsche Club North America posted a video about 4 or 5 years ago touring the White Collection. Oh,
wow, I didn't know that.
After this podcast, go to YouTube, just on YouTube search for the White Collection.
No, not yet. No, stop.
Yeah. After. Stay here. After, go and look at the White Collection. And it's actually quite disappointing because there were some cars in that video that aren't in here that I'm quite upset about, which we'll get to in a bit. But the White Collection is, as it sounds, it is a collection of white cars, specifically of the Porsche variety.
Which stayed extra special after I sold mine.
And in your mind, if you know anything about Porsches, think of... not you, Nick. You've seen the collection. For those of you that haven't seen the White Collection, think of any special Porsche ever built.
And then put it in one building.
Paint it white, stick it in one building, all of them together. That's what this is. So I'm just going to run through a couple here. You know, some real light ones. 918 with a Weissach package. 93 RSR Carrera. 97 GT2. Carrera RS 2.7 lightweight. 94 911 Turbo S with an X85 package. And it's a flat nose from the factory. GT2 RS Weissach package. And then, you know, your usual sport classics, your 911Rs, your Targa 4S Heritage Designs, and then every other version of Carrera or RS or GT3 RS, GT2, if there has been a special edition of a 911, it's in this building, and it is so cool. Nick, before we get into kind of some of our favorites, and maybe even our least favorites, if you had a large collection of cars...
Yes.
Multiple questions. Number 1, would you paint them all the same color? And 2, if so, would it be white?
No.
Okay. Would you... that was 2 questions. Would you paint all the cars the same color?
Yes.
What color?
Come on. You know the answer to that question.
Okay. Is it yellow? They'd all be yellow.
Yes.
Okay. So, I was listening to Spike's Car Radio the other day, and they briefly mentioned the White Collection, and basically all they did was talk trash about it, because all they did was they were like, oh, owning a bunch of white cars is dumb, and it's kind of a thing in the car community that a lot of people have a collection... Hi, Watson. that a lot of people in the car community who have these giant collections pick all one color. And for some reason, a lot of them are white, and it looks very cool. It looks very museum-like, but it's kind of a dull color. They mentioned that green would be really cool for Porsches because they've got like 50 different greens, and you could have all green cars and then most of them be different colors, which would be pretty interesting. You could also do the same thing with blues, which would be, I think, would be pretty cool.
Blue is probably the most diverse color in the Porsche palette.
Blue would be really good. Nick, sorry, something else to mention real quick. Not only is there Porsches in here, I think I saw over 400 pieces of Porsche memorabilia, bits, bobs, doodads, whatchamacallits. They're all in there.
Yeah.
Accessories, whatever. It's everything from, factory original radios from the 60s, 70s, and 80s, steering wheels, seats, posters, displays from inside of dealerships.
Yeah, it's everything.
There's like Porsche 918 couches in here, which sure, that's a thing.
It's shit you didn't know Porsche even made, and then
it's the stuff that Porsche calls you and asks if you want. That's the kind of stuff that's in here.
Hello? Yes, would you like the 918 couch? No,
which by the way, I'd like to call them out.
It's like a regular couch, except it's called the Porsche 918 couch. No, $50,000.
Which I'd like to call them out. The 918 couch is blue. That's all I'm saying.
It's good looking, though.
It's great. No, it's a fantastic looking couch. I'm sure it works just the same as like an IKEA couch, but, not as German. Nick, so I know you don't have your two-car garage pulled up, but that was quick. Go ahead, by all means.
So my two-car garage...
We'll start with cars, and then we'll go to stuff.
Perfect. So my two-car garage, Ben... I'm going to send you a photo after this for you to put up here as well.
Yes.
Because the two-car garage I'm picking is unironically a garage my dad actually had, and they were both the same color.
That's pretty cool.
My two-car garage is, ladies and gentlemen, drum roll please.
Did Nick and Ben overlap?
1992.
Nope.
White. 911 Carrera RS. Just...
Simple.
Yes. But next is a car I like more. A 96 Carrera RS. Because in the Porsche lineage of street vehicles, when you look at the 911, there are hardly any vehicles that are more beautiful, more pivotal, and more sought after than the 993 and the 964 Carrera RSs.
This is true.
I will send you a photo, Ben, of my dad's garage.
I've already found the two cars, but yes, send me that picture.
Yes, I will. Where it's the 964 RS and the 993 RS, and the best part is, ladies and gentlemen, is my dad had both of these cars when I was too wee to understand anything about them. So as far as
understand how cool they were.
As far as I'm concerned, it never happened. But there's photos.
Well, I'm quite glad that you picked the cars you did. I was very worried that one of our cars was going to overlap, and it did not. And I'm happy to say that both of my cars are older than yours. So my first car is a white 1959 Porsche 356A Carrera 1600 GS.
I like the choice.
It's okay. So for starters, I'll put up a picture here. It's not white. It's off-white. It's like an ivory colored.
Very creamy. Yeah.
Right, with red interior. Big fan, by the way. It's actually a red and ivory interior. But 1959 was the first year that Porsche did not offer a very white. That's when they switched to the off-whites. So this is the first...
Before anybody says anything, not Nike off-white.
Yes. It is ivory. It's almost tan. But I think it's super cool, especially because the 1959 356A Carrera, that's essentially the motor out of a 550 Spider.
Right.
Stuffed in a 356, which is super cool. Also, I've been kind of on a 356 kick lately. There's a dude that lives on my way to work that has a 356 Speedster, and I see it all the time, and it's so cool. I think they're just such good shapes. So I had to pick a 356, so I picked the best one in the collection. And then this next one is probably going to surprise Nick quite a bit.
Okay, let's hear it.
It's arguably one of the most unique cars in the bunch. It is a white 1987 944 Turbo Cup.
My man!
So, by the way, audience, don't tell Nick this. I really like 944s. And this is about as cool as the 944 gets in the form of the Turbo Cup.
No, I think it really is. I think it is cool.
As far as factory 944s go, it doesn't get cooler than the Turbo Cup. This one is all white with the white phone dial wheels.
Which is so good.
It's so cool. I want white phone dial wheels. I don't know what I'd put them on, but they would just look cool. Yes, it does bother me that the hood is a different shade of white. I know, because Nick brought it up to me.
Race
I
car.
would Well, I'd actually probably just repaint the whole car in that white. It's a much whiter white. You know what I'm saying?
Wow, ladies and gentlemen, I just want to, for the record, point out that Ben is not a Porsche person, and it has been never more exemplified by the statement he just made.
So, also, I think I've wanted a 944 for a very long time, and I think this thing is just super.
Somehow, he's had the ability to get one. He's had the interest in getting one. He's had a support structure, i.e., me, that wants him to get one, and he hasn't gotten one.
Well, Nick, I think it's a very bad idea to buy a Porsche when you can't afford to fix one. Anyway, moving on. We also decided that amongst our two-car garage... Oh, wait, no. Sorry. Tangent. Sidebar. My bad. Nick, Patty, your two-car garage, if they weren't white, what color would they be? They cannot be the same color for the sake of this argument.
Okay, well, one of them would be speed yellow.
Okay, are you picking the Carrera RS or the Carrera RS?
The Carrera RS. Well, let me think. So,
the 96 or the 92?
I would do the 96 in yellow.
I would agree. It's a good choice.
The 92, mint green. No questions.
Good. Well done, sir. Well done.
It would be mint green or Mexico blue. Those.
I am going to paint my 1959 356 in silver because I think all 356s should be silver.
That or the Royal Albert blue, the really dark, non-metallic blue.
That would also be good. Either way, red interior can stay.
Yes.
Because red interior works on 356s. And then my 944 Turbo Cup. Well, it's got to get a livery of some sort, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. I'm not gonna lie. The black PlayStation livery would look banger on it.
That would look really good, actually. I'd be about that. I'll do that one. There we go. That's what the 944 Turbo Cup is going to be. Nick, Patty, do you have your two items off the top of your head?
I do, and speaking of Turbo Cups, ladies and gentlemen, the first item in my accessory two-item wardrobe are the original 80s Rothmans Porsche travel bags.
I saw those. Those are cool.
I need a bag to put my helmet in for my Rothmans Turbo Cup, and then I need one for my suit for the Rothmans Turbo Cup. My second item, because I am
compose yourself.
I am interested because I want to share this episode on LinkedIn.
There we go.
In horology, I would pick the Porsche Design Chrono Timer. I don't know why you wouldn't just call it a chronograph, but Porsche's got to be different.
Hey, let them be.
This one Porsche Rennsport Union 5 Edition watch. I have a Heuer Octavia, so after picking this, I kind of thought to myself, well, when would I ever wear this over on Octavia? But I guess when you're in a situation where you need a crappier watch to bang around than your Heuer, pick a Porsche Design Rennsport watch. And on top of that, I went to Rennsport 2 as an infant. Sidebar, rant, Rennsport, not as cool at Laguna. It was better at Daytona, so just throwing that out there. But
good to know.
I love everything Rennsport, so I got to go with the watch. Ben, what are your two accessories?
My two accessories, one of them is actually not a Porsche item, which is quite interesting. No.
Oh.
So I found a gem hidden in there.
Oh, I'm sure you did.
I have found an original Momo Martini Racing S4 steering wheel.
Okay, that wheel is badass.
Which is with the matching shift knob. It comes with the matching shift knob and the original box, which has Lancia Delta S4 Integrales sliding through mud on the front. As you know, I am a big fan of rally. It's probably my favorite four-wheel motorsport, probably, maybe, I don't know. If I had to pick one to race in, I'd pick rally.
Well, these so, to feel the warm embrace of death.
Yes, it's my favorite. So I picked the Momo Martini Racing S4 steering wheel. That's super cool. And the other thing I think is super cool is a collection of 1/43rd scale models of Porsches, which is super cool. 959 Carrera GT. It looks like we've got a... what are we looking at here? We've got a 911 Targa, a soft window Targa to be exact, a 63 911. We've got 962s, 917s, 356s.
Continue. I'll be back in one moment.
Oh my gosh, I have to continue? No. All right, that's fine. Yeah, so I picked that mainly just because, yeah, I think these smaller scale cars are super cool. And it also appears that they're all Porsche officially licensed products, which doesn't surprise me. And it appears they were all one set because it comes with like one big box, which is super cool. Oh, and there's also a GT1 in there, which is pretty fun. There are some outliers in this collection. There's a 1953 356 Pre-A 1500 America Coupe that is red. I want to say there was some other stuff. Oh, Nick, okay.
Yes.
I want to talk about a car that you did not pick that I was quite surprised about.
Okay.
1978 Porsche 911 SC Martini Championship Edition.
Yes.
Why didn't you pick that car other than the fact that you like the other two more?
Because, and I'm going to piss off a lot of Porsche people, including myself, stickers don't make a car cool. I mean, they do. But I'd rather have...
I mean, yes, but
I'd
no.
rather have a really rowdy RS than,
right,
while visually stunning, base 80s 911.
Well, I mean, like, yeah, that is the thing about that car, is the thing that makes it cool is the stickers. If there wasn't stickers, it drives exactly the same as any other 78 911 SC.
Stripes were painted. There's still stripes, okay? Get off your horse.
Let's see. Porsche tractors. Big fan of the Porsche tractors.
Did you see the Porsche tractors race at Rennsport?
Yes. Did you see, like, some of those things had, like, huge wings on them?
Yeah.
Like, these dudes are way too serious about their hobbies.
Wrong. Take it back.
No, Nick. We're racing tractors. They're too serious about their hobbies. I think this is super cool. I'm very curious as to why the white collection is going up for sale. I don't know. I didn't know
because let me guess. Some Porsche aficionado died, and the kids were like, "Oh no, we have 40 of the world's most collectible Porsches.
We gotta get rid of these things. What do we do?"
Yeah. We can't drive them.
So, two cars that were mentioned in the video that are not in here. The video from Porsche Club North America.
Correct.
A white on white Carrera GT.
That probably would have made my list.
And a white 959 Sport.
That wouldn't have made it onto my list, but that would have been cool to see.
It would have been cool to see, and it's apparently it used to be that the 959, the 918, and the CGT were all parked next to each other. So I'm very curious to where those cars ended up. The guy that is talking in the video is actually kind of the curator of the collection, pretty much. Basically, he, like, 6 months out of the year, lives there. Like, he's not in the... But he lives there, and basically his job is to do maintenance and make sure that the cars run and they function and they move. All of these cars work. Yes.
I think it's not a job for you.
That's what I was thinking. But they're selling it, though. There is no more white collection.
Well, that's true. Speaking of Porsches that are legendary, Ben, I saw one this weekend.
Oh, did you ever? I was going to say I'm rarely jealous of Mr. Patty. That's not true. I'm often jealous of Mr. Patty, but not as much as I was yesterday. Because yesterday was Radwood at Radford Racing School.
Saturday.
Because it's Monday. Saturday was Radwood at Radford Racing School.
Yeah.
And Nick, would you care to talk about some Porsche race car that was there?
I saw the Huna Pegasus!
It was freaking cool. That was cool.
And trust me, if Ben's has the Instagram, you will see photos of it because I obviously sent them. Not gonna lie though, I'm not gonna act like a lot of people in the car community. But granted, a lot of people also have your side of it.
True.
I'm not gonna act like I was particularly interested in Ken Block. Like I'm not gonna act like one of those. And when I say one of those people, like he had a profound impact on you. He had a profound impact on millions of people. I was not. That just was not my corner of the motorsports automotive world. However, seeing that car there and seeing his name on it, knowing it was his last project, made me emote. Like I'm not saying I teared up, but just like
it's one of those things.
It's like the when guys just go, damn. Like as other guys listening will know, when you're just like, damn. Like it was that. There's no other way to describe it. Like it was really one of those moments. And so, I mean, let me tell you something. For those of you listening who haven't seen it, don't even say, "Oh yeah, well, duh, it's wide." No. You do not understand how dramatic the proportions on this car are. Like, I could put a set of king-size sheets on the rear wing, and they might fit. It is colossal in its proportions. And it's really weird because, Ben, you know that cool art that Type 7 does where it'll be like a 911 sitting inside of a raft or a floaty in a pool?
Yep.
It quite literally looks like that in real life, but with aero. It looks like you took a 911 and you plopped it down in the middle of a sled, and then that's the rest of the car. So the Huna Pegasus was badass. I'll be right back, Ben. You keep talking about what... Just 10 seconds. Tell people why this car is special. Go.
So, if you're unfamiliar with the Huna Pegasus, it was built by BBI Autosport for Ken Block to run up Pikes Peak in 2022, and it did not make it up the mountain. It had pretty serious engine failure, nothing at the fault of Ken Block or BBI Autosport, but it does have it's not a Metzger motor, it's the current GT3R platform engine, twin-turboed, mid-engined. One second. Nick Patty, your microphone is back. Oh, that's actually pretty cool.
Wait. They only made not even 100 of these, and they're never making them again. And
Okay. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, that's pretty sick.
Yes, sir.
So, that's pretty rad.
Anyway, I just needed you to delay so I could go get it.
That's understandable.
I'm going to go get that framed at some point. But that all being said, the Huna Pegasus was obviously the main attraction at the show. But there were some other pretty cool rides.
Koenigs are in. That's what we learned.
Yep, that's exactly what I was about to bring up. I'm not going to lie to you. Not a cool car in person.
No, not at all.
Euro with a body kit. Not, like, straight up. I feel bad for the son of a gun that paid way too much for this.
So much money. Easily $300,000 for that.
In case you're wondering, there was a Ferrari 328 GTS Koenig, one of 13 built from the factory.
328?
Less than 15,000 original miles. 450 horsepower single turbo engine. Full body kit and interior options. I love, though, that the guy from Italian Design and Racing made sure to include a bullet point saying that the turbo engine utilized all of the 345, 35, 15 rear tires.
Ooh. By the way, the Koenig 328 looks fine without the wing.
I actually thought the wing was one of the coolest parts, not even gonna lie.
It's fine, but
did you see what was towing it?
It's very 80s. I did not know.
I sent you the photo of it on the trailer, right?
Yes, I believe so, but I believe I was distracted by the Ferrari with the body kit.
Just go back to your photos and tell me what's towing it. Tell me what's in front of it.
Uno momento.
The license plate gives it away.
The license plate gives it away. Nick Patty, more pictures, more pictures, more pictures. That's a Huna Pig. That's a Tommy Mack and an Evo. No shit, that's way cooler than the Koenig. Yo, some dude is balling out there with an orange LM002 pulling a 328 Koenig GTS.
Yeah.
What? This? Oh, I want to grow up to be that guy one day. That's I mean, like, mainly the LM002 part. I don't really care about the Koenig. It's cool. Yo, you've seen an LM002.
Mm-hmm.
I'm jealous. I've never seen an LM002, and it's the coolest Lambo ever built.
For the record, Ben is jealous of me twice in one podcast episode.
So,
some other cool cars of note was a original Carrera 3-liter 911, which is stupid rare, but spoiler, this one's been repainted and it was in really rough condition. Like
the orange one?
Yeah, it really made me upset. There was a super cool Audi. I don't remember which one it is, but it was the hatchback that looked like the S2 wagon.
I'll go back. You keep talking. I'll find it.
In addition, there was a real imported Integra Type R.
Audi Coupe Quattro.
There you go. There was also a real imported Type R that was genuinely one of the cleanest ones I've ever seen. White with the red seats in a manual. Gorgeous.
Super cool. Still undervalued for how good of a driving experience it is.
We also saw a car that I have not seen since my dad owned one. Clown Shoe.
Oh, a Clown Shoe is cool.
And fun fact,
an actual M Coupe.
My dad owned it in these exact colors, red with the red and black interior, so that was cool to see. His
good spec.
Aptly, I'm a shoe.
I'm a shoe. Very good.
Yes, indeed. There was a 993 Turbo in black sitting sensually on a pair of original speed lines that
very good.
Easily was one of my favorite cars there. There was also a 355 Berlinetta Challenge car in black, which was
super sick.
Super
cool.
Super hot stuff. There was a Lancia Delta Integrale S4. I know I said it backwards.
Tommy Mackinnon Evo.
The Tommy Mackinnon Evo, Ben, will you explain to me, I mean everyone else, why that's cool?
So Tommy Mackinnon basically was a rally god, and it was the same time as Hi Dogs. Is that the new dog? That had to be the new dog.
No, that was Hondo, and I'm about to tell the hell up.
Oh my gosh, I'm sorry, Hondo. So Tommy Mackinnon is from the rally era of Carlos Sainz Sr. and I'm forgetting his name. I'm gonna hate myself for it. It's right there.
He's old enough. Are you sure it's not Sebastian Loeb?
No. Nope. Colin McRae. Holy Jesus.
You're joking.
No, dude, it was
there's no.
No, you're right.
No.
There's no excuse for that.
Yeah, thank you.
Other than the fact that the dude died before I was alive, but whatever.
Yeah, but what did you just say earlier? Oh, rally's my favorite four-wheel sport.
It is, and I'm a Sebastian Loeb fan. So anyway, he's from the era of Carlos Sainz Sr. when he raced for Toyota and Colin McRae when he raced for Subaru, and he won 3. Tommy Mackinnon is an underrated rally driver because he won 3 championships. Colin McRae won 1. So Tommy Mackinnon is an absolute
rally died. So legend stuff.
He won all of them while Colin McRae was driving. So
he's better.
Yeah, he actually just is. So and he raced for Mitsubishi, and basically he's the reason why Evos are cool. So, and then they made a very special edition called the Tommy Mackinnon edition. It's pretty cool in this red and white livery.
It's really hot.
It's basically his race livery minus all the sponsors on it. It's based on an Evo 6, Evo 5. I want to say one of the two. I can't remember off the top of my head.
People, let us know which one.
I'm gonna Google real quick. Yeah, Evo 6. I did get that right. Yay! But yeah, basically, like, the cheapest Tommy Mackinnon edition Evo is like 90 grand for a really crappy one. So they are worth stupid money. Yeah, so especially one that clean, that's probably a 6-figure Evo.
Wow, I had no idea.
Yeah, most people don't do tons of stuff to them. Most people keep them stock. I know that Adam LZ has a Tommy Mackinnon Edition Evo, but he bought it converted as a rally car, so he's about to build it into like a crazy time attack car, which is pretty cool.
Interesting.
So, Tommy Mackinnon Edition Evo. There you go.
There you go. That was the highlights of Radwood, minus the fact that Chris Jacobs was there. That's kind of cool. Moving on, Ben, we have the age-old battle between Chevy, Ford, and the Porsche.
Yes, so this was a question I was going to pose to you. So we've
posed to you as well.
Okay, so we had the debate, if you recall several episodes ago, where the Mustang GTD came out and kind of not so under the radar called out the AMG GT Black Series and the 911 GT3 RS. Well, now we have the Manthey Racing GT3 RS spotted at the Nürburgring. It's no surprise to anyone that this was coming. It's kind of expected. And the Manthey is owned by Porsche now, so yes, it's technically a factory-backed effort. Blah, blah, blah. We'll count it. But we also saw the new C8 ZR1 at the Nürburgring, which we mentioned in the most recent episode of our most recent automotive episode. It got spotted at a gas station. That was kind of the first time anyone saw it driving around, and now it's been seen at the Nürburgring. Assumptions are that it's going to be a twin-turbo version of the Z06, more aero, more lightness, which is going to be nuts.
Again, what, we're thinking 900 horsepower? There's no way you twin turbocharge a 700 horsepower motor.
850 is what people are talking about right now, but I see no reason why people couldn't tune those and turn them up to close to 1,000. So that'll be very exciting. The question is, so I was kind of
like, dude, I got an FBO E85 ZR1. I'm pushing 1100.
Pretty much. That is Corvette people. So.
Good thing I'm not one of them.
Oh, while I'm talking, I'm going to send you a picture of I found the final boss of Corvette owners the other day. All right, sent. So the reason why I brought up this C8 ZR1 spotted at the Nürburgring is I was wondering, do you think it's going to be in the conversation of GT3 RS versus?
So yes, I do.
GTD.
I do. Here's the thing, though. This is what I posed some of the instructors at Radford, and they didn't answer. There's a lot of hemming and hawing because nobody really knows. This is essentially what it comes down to. Porsche, least power, most aero. Mustang, more power, a little bit less aero. Corvette inevitably will be the least amount of aero, but the
most power. Right.
Which one of those is going to succeed at the ring? Because here's the thing. Most people would say, oh, well, the ring is not a track where horsepower always wins, right? Well, yes.
True, but big of a difference.
But 510 horsepower? No, 530? What's the GT3 RS?
I think it's like low 500s, I think, something like that.
It's less than 535.
Yes.
Versus 850?
In the ZR1?
What?
That's a big difference.
The ZR1 is going to have easily as much mechanical grip. The amount of rubber under that car, the mid-engine balance.
It'll actually have more tire than a GT3 RS. I think a Z06 has more tire than a GT3 RS.
So, but in terms of what you can fit under the car and the balance of the car, it has the GT3 RS beat. However, by nature of how that car is designed, unless they completely rip off what Porsche's doing, similar to the problem they have with the GTD, they will not be able to generate as much downforce as the Porsche will.
Right.
And if you look at the leaked spy photos, that rear wing is not even close to what the GT3 RS wing is, or the GTD.
Or the GTD wing. So the rear wing is definitely the smallest. I think it does have it.
It looks like a Z06 wing, but maybe a little bit larger.
Yeah, it looks like they increased it by 10% in every direction, kind of is what they did.
Yeah.
So it looks like on top it definitely has the least aero, but I think underneath it has the biggest advantage for aero, because that's the reason why the RSR existed. Was because the motor is behind the rear axle, you can't have a diffuser that's super aggressive. And because the ZR1 is mid-engined, I think you could, but it's twin-turboed, which is going to put stuff back. Yeah, I don't know.
And on top of that, the GTD has the exact same potential advantage. So whatever advantage that the ZR1 would have from that, the GTD would match.
I do think that, also, here's something to remember. The ZR1 is going to be the cheapest of the three.
Well, yes. Yeah.
Almost certainly.
Well,
so
before dealer markups,
no kidding.
Yeah.
So, but I think it's probably it's gonna start below 200.
Are you sure?
A Zeo stick
Starting at 200.
It might be close. I think a Z06 starts at 106, 110, something like that.
No way.
I think so.
That's a shit ton of car for 110 grand.
It's a Corvette. That's what it's always been.
But I don't know.
Okay, so if you get a 1LZ, which is like if you get a base Z06 coupe, MSRP is 105. Which means everyone's walking out the door spending 135, 140.
What was the MSRP for a base GT3 RS?
For a 992?
Yeah. It was 2 something, wasn't it?
224.
So you're spending 100 grand, 100 and a quarter more.
Yeah.
But that's obviously to a Z06, and the GT3 RS romps on a Z06.
Right.
Yeah, so, I mean, this is something for everybody watching or listening. Please do genuinely leave a comment. I'm interested to see what people will think, because I know we're going to have the GT3 RS boys in their Adidas sweatpants and things I can't say on the podcast. And I know we're going to have the Elmer Fuds who are like the Corvette and it's just denim jeans and New Balances and khaki shorts. And then we're gonna have the Mustang people, but the Ford.
I think the Mustang's gonna win.
Ford is gonna draw, I think, from some of the we love sports car racing people, and then some of the hell yeah, what the hell's a kilometer?
Okay, so here's the thing. I genuinely think the Mustang is going to be fastest, but I also think the Mustang genuinely threw away the rulebook the most.
Question
because the Mustang shares the least with the base car.
I'm just gonna throw it out there. For all the Chevy people.
Okay.
Doesn't matter if the ZR1's slower, because you know what would be faster than the GTD? Goddamn Garage 56, brother. So.
Yes, actually. I was like, I'd actually be curious. No, I wouldn't. It'd be faster.
Yep. So, actually, I don't care if Ford wins, because they lose.
Well, would it be faster?
Yes, because remember, it's faster than GT3 cars, or GTE cars around Le Mans.
GTD will be faster than GTE cars. Ford already said it is. Ford said it's faster than their GT3 car.
Oh, right. But faster than their GT3 cars. And my point is the GTE.
Oh, GTE, that's right.
Faster than GT3. And on top of that, the Garage 56 car was significantly faster than GTE.
True. Plus, it'll have a weight advantage. The GTD would have a horsepower and an aero advantage.
But not much of a weight advantage, because it's not like the GTD has a shit ton of interior.
True, but I think it's still going to be at least 4,000 pounds.
No,
actually, they probably weigh about the same. Dude, do you know how much an S650 weighs?
I don't even want to know.
A Dark Horse, I think, is like 4,150.
Dodge, where you at? Come get your weight trophy.
It's actually quite weird. The Dark Horse, which is the fast version, is the heaviest Mustang you can buy right now.
So you can
just
have
heads
a more
up.
effective crowd control method, because it would
consumer advice for anyone who wants to buy a new Mustang. Normal Mustang GT with the performance pack.
Or
it makes 10 less horsepower than a Dark Horse and weighs 150 pounds less.
That's it?
Yep. Buy a performance pack. Don't buy a Dark Horse.
And then
You're paying for stickers.
Throw a Whipple on it.
Don't do that. You'll ruin your Mustang and fly into a crowd. Just own a Mustang.
Buying a Mustang, so...
true. You're destined for that life anyway. You were going to say something.
No, but I was just going to say, I think the GT3 RS will narrowly have the edge on the GTD. Here's the weird part, though.
Mm-hmm.
I think the ZR1 is going to be the slowest.
I would agree. I think so.
But at the
on
same
aero alone.
But this is the part that I don't understand. In my head, I'm like, of either one, I feel like the ZR1 would give the GT3 RS a bigger run for its money, but at the same time, I also think that ZR1 is going to be much slower than the GTD. So, like,
dude,
I have the cognitive dissonance.
I don't think people realize how much of that GTD isn't a Mustang.
No, I know it isn't, but here's the thing.
It's also so much more expensive than a GT3 RS.
I so want the Porsche to be the fastest, But
Here's the thing.
And
The
listen,
Porsche,
the first time I will ever say this, and it will be the last time I ever say this. I feel like we're quite literally at the absolute end of the naturally aspirated 911 platform. Other than the Ren Sport, which I just have to remind myself, it doesn't matter what Ford or Chevy makes.
it's true.
Like,
So we have this.
oopsie, you're faster than the Ren Sport? GT2 RS. GT2 RS Visoc. Like,
Right.
GT2 RS Club Sport.
I think that's going to be the thing. Is I think the GTD is just going to narrowly beat the 3RS, and then like 2 weeks later, Porsche will launch a GT2 RS, and the way that they'll launch it is it'll just be a black Instagram post with a lap time on it, and that's all it will be.
God,
And then they just won't say anything. And then like a week later, they'll be like, "Oh, by the way, we have built this twin turbo hybrid thing."
It would just be the time, and then at the bottom in the Porsche font, it would say, and by Porsche font I mean the font of "There is no substitute." It would just say, "Your move, Ford."
Or it'd be really
nothing after the GTD. They're like, if you sat there and you said, "Make the Mustang the most absurd, batshit crazy vehicle possible," it is the GTD. You cannot do more.
true.
With that.
It's not possible.
And so, like, and this is what I love. Porsche always has that, like, next gear where they're just like, oh.
What about more? Like,
More.
let's, to be fair, for starters, I don't think anyone's ever said this. The GT3 RS is the underdog of these three.
You know what
For
else?
sure.
I didn't even think about, not that Porsche would, because the 911 has to reign supreme. Porsche could always just be like, guess we'll have to maximize the Cayman now.
We'll just build a Cayman GT2 RS.
Yeah, we're just going to make it a foot and a half wider and all aero.
Right. Another good thing that Porsche could do for the GT2 RS, launch or whatever. Porsche, you can have this one for free. Be a great little commercial. Just saying, of like some cowboys, and then like they've all got horses, Mustangs, and the Mustangs just run off like into the woods, and they're like, what are they spooked about? And then it just cuts to a black screen, and you just hear shifting of GT2 RS. That'd be really good.
You just hear the turbos, like the...
Yeah. Porsche, you can have that one for free. That's all you.
Yeah, that okay, this episode is just going to be, how can we brainstorm Porsche beating Mustang?
Welcome to the Clutch Dump. We're the new outsourced marketing department for Porsche that they didn't ask for.
What would be awesome is it's a highlight reel of Ford at Le Mans. Like it's quite literally the GT40.
Yep.
GT40 again. The GT40 again. And then it's the GT. And it's like Ford wins at Le Mans. And then it's just Porsche wins at Le Mans 1970.
Just runs through all of them.
Yeah, and it's just and it's or it would be cool where it's like a bar graph and it's like Ford overall wins at Le Mans, and then it's just Porsche overall wins at Le Mans.
It just keeps going.
Oh,
that'd be good. But I mean, to be fair, the Mustang GTD has been taken way further than the C7 platform ever was.
Okay, on top of this, I just want to talk about how I am depresso Americano about how the ZR1 isn't in that league. Like, I want Chevy to say, here's the Corvette ZR1, has 1,000 horsepower, active aero.
But that's probably what the Zora is going to be. Because we talked about this. I think the Zora is going to be a ZR1 with more aero plus a hybrid front axle. I think it's going to be all-wheel drive.
Let's ladies and gentlemen of the Clutch Dump, let's rewind. VHS tape.
Yes.
Let's go back to 2014. Okay?
7 years ago? Or no, 9 years ago?
One Republic had just dropped counting stars. We were all middle schoolers. Life was good. Chevy was on the cutting edge of technology. How? The Z28. You had Ford hitting back with the GT.
Are those still worth money? Those are still worth money, aren't they? Z28s?
Not nearly as much as you think. You can get them for the high 40s.
Please continue.
Yeah, Ben's like, let me look. I have a Z28, although it's a 4th gen.
Don't matter me if I do.
Ben's like, I'm only one gen away. It's basically the same car.
Fine, they're the same car.
But you had Chevy contracting and doing work with Multimatic, who, if you don't know, built the chassis for the 963, built the suspension for Williams Formula One. Like, you had Chevy pulling in the best and the brightest. And while I'm sure GM still has a lot of smart people working for them, you just don't have, it seems like, the hunger or the care for competing in that echelon. Now, granted.
Hey,
yes.
Real quick, Chevrolet, just saying, y'all just, spoiler alert, y'all just won a sports car championship, and Dallara built your chassis. You should get them to get their little mitts on the Corvette.
That's kind of my thing, right? Like, why couldn't Chevy go, and because that's what Ford did with the GTD. It's a Multimatic car, isn't it?
$64,000. Yes, the Ford GT is a Multimatic car.
No, not GT, GTD.
Oh, yes, sorry. The GT and the GTD are both Multimatic cars.
So, Ford has kind of continued that. Chevy has the GT3 car. Just make it street legal.
Just take a license plate and some zip ties and send it on its way. I'm sure that'd be fine.
Throw in a push it and call it an airbag. Throw on
no one would know. Ugh.
I mean, listen, you realistically need Carl and his khaki shorts to get in it, and then you got yourself, God, Lord help me, I got a race car. What? Uh-oh.
$116,000 for a Z28.
Huh?
It has 600 miles on it, but
well.
It's white. Just saying.
White. There we go.
White Camaro gang.
I think we can skip everything else in our automotive episode. Maybe yeah, honestly, it all looks pretty stupid.
Actually, no, hold up. I want to spend 3 minutes on the Jag thing, because it is important that we touch on it.
It's not. It's British cars that nobody buys unless they're poor for a Porsche, or they have... The only
Porsche people and Jag people do not cross shop. Jag people are too broke to buy an S-Class. That's the difference. Okay, hold up. Relax. Quit your yapping.
Everything you're saying makes me angry.
I'm just going to mute Nick. Quit your yapping. Okay. Jag has announced.
Jaguar is a bean-eating Audi. Jaguar is for Audi people that eat bangers and mash. That is quite literally what a Jaguar is.
Audi is the worst car company that currently exists.
So, like I said, Jaguar is like Audi for people who eat bangers and mash.
Okay, before
Jaguar
Nick went on
is a car company for people...
Before Nick went on his rant, Jag has announced the final edition of the F-Type called the ZP Edition.
It's for people who on a hot day say, I would love a warm Guinness, please.
Would you not? Anyway, Jag has announced... Hold up, relax.
Jaguar is for people that can't afford an Aston Martin.
The annoying part is everything you're saying is true. That's the word. That's what I'm trying to get to, Nick.
For comparison, the people that buy the most legendary E-Type of all time in the Le Mans Coupe, Andrew Newey's like, I'll just modify it, because even their greatest car isn't good enough.
That's his answer to everything.
Jensen Button was like, let me buy a legendary Le Mans car. Oh shit, it broke.
Because it's from the 50s, Nick. They're all broken.
No, it's because they're English, Ben. Why do you think
from the
car
50s
has a Mercedes motor? Because they couldn't figure out how to make pistons go bang bang and go forward.
Because they actually stopped designing motors in the 1960s. That's pretty much why.
I just want people to understand that Americans have hardly innovated on the motor since the 1950s. And the English...
Which is why American cars are trash.
In the 1980s, decided we're just going to sell it to the Americans. Oh shit! Now we're just going to contract out to the Germans.
Can I talk about the F-Type for 2 seconds?
What do you not understand? That's what I've been doing.
Oh my gosh!
This is Jaguar commentary.
Can I have 30 seconds to talk about this?
Hold on, let me pull up a timer, because I actually want to hear what you say in 30 seconds. Like, what you think is the best thing to say about Jaguar for 30 seconds. Ladies and gentlemen, we are about to have 30 seconds of Ben talking about Jaguar for no good reason. Starting now.
So Jag has announced the final edition of the E-Type called the ZP edition. They're going to make 150 combined coupes and convertibles, sadness, 5-liter V8 supercharged, all that goodness. However, what I think is really important is that they are doing away with internal combustion engines altogether. They're switching to full EVs with everything, starting with a new 4-door sedan. I think that makes perfect sense for a luxury brand. Bentley and Rolls-Royce are going the same way. I think this is going to be a great substitute for anyone who doesn't want to be seen in an S-Class or an Audi. Thank you.
So going back to what going back to what I was saying about Jaguar, they're going to full EVs. You know why? Because the English are the type
it's better
of people,
for luxury cars.
Because the mayor of London, I don't know if this is still in effect, but at one point banned knives that had a point on them. Because when they got rid of guns, there were too many stabbings. And then they were like, you know what? Let's just ban sharp knives. Oh wait, that's the whole goddamn point.
Good pun. Good pun. That was a great pun. Unintended pun, really good.
Let's just remember that the most powerful navy in the world got beat by a bunch of people that didn't want to pay a couple cents more for tea. Get destroyed. Anyway, for all of our British listeners,
I didn't know.
For all the British listeners,
we have no British listeners, Nick.
Find the flaw. Oh, on top of that, not to mention, I was watching on Jolly on YouTube, British preparatory students trying Taco Bell. When you have British students saying Taco Bell is some of the
funny video though.
It is. When you have British students talking about how good a cheesy gordita crunch is, that's when you know the country's just gone to hell. And
have you ever eaten British food? It's terrible.
Yes.
Horrible.
I had a cheeseburger in Britain. Come to find out, apparently the cows are more of cowards as well. The beef.
But
how is grass in England so different that then the beef tastes crappier? How does that happen?
You good? Are you done?
Have you had British beef?
No. Or maybe. I don't know. It's beef. It all tastes the same.
No, God, just imagine being in a country where it rains all the time with salty water and shitty beef.
What did the English do to you? Jesus Christ.
Am I wrong?
No, I quite like the country. I really wanted Jag.
Listen, you got great castles, but the last time you did something worth tourism was 1,000 years ago.
That's the purpose of England. It's old. That's the attraction.
Tommy and I were rewatching Top Gear last night, and there was a line that Chris Harris said, where to roast Matt LeBlanc, all he could say is, we're going to a house older than your country. And I'm like, okay, so...
But that's the point of it. That's why England still exists, is to have old stuff. Whiskey.
You took a bunch of meth-addicted addicts in Kentucky, and they...
I feel like that went a bit far.
Huh?
Are you done? Are you good? Are you okay?
Do I still
we weren't even going to talk about this.
Are there people who aren't convinced? Because if there are, I can keep going.
Nick, everyone stopped listening. We've lost everyone.
Downton Abbey has less viewers than Breaking Bad, and one's about freaking meth in the desert, and one is, high-class British society. Oh, yes, all right.
It's because Breaking Bad's a great show.
The only thing the UK has contributed productively to the entirety of the United States, two things.
Is the United States.
Two things. One, Top Gear. Two, very indirectly, Shane Van Gisbergen.
That is a rant for another day, people, but that is going to do it for episode 83 of The Clutch Dump, because I'm cutting Nick off, because this has gone way too far. We had more things to talk about, but I don't want to bring it up to Nick, because I'll just get yelled at, and he'll just insult more cultures. So that's going to end it off for episode 83 of The Clutch Dump. We will see you next time, but as Nick said at the top of the show, make sure you go follow us.
Imagining getting invaded by the Romans and losing.
Like Nick said at the top of the show, make sure you go follow us.
You let a bunch of pre-pizza, pre-calzone, pre-pasta of Italian.
Make sure you go follow us on all the podcasting platforms, Spotify, Apple, Google Podcasts. Make sure you follow us on YouTube. Make sure you subscribe, like, and share the video. Thank you so much. That's going to do it from us. We will see you next time.